All right, happy Saturday night, everybody. Welcome to Raiderland Rewind, recapping Texas Tech's 48-9 win over UCF, the obliteration of the Black Knights from Central Florida. We'll get your thoughts. I'll give you what we thought about the game, but I really want to hear what you thought, and there are plenty of great things to talk about. And I hope we don't have a post BYU game day letdown tonight on the show. Last week, you guys were great. This week, it's even more important. Because if you didn't do what you did today, last week wouldn't have mattered. So we'll get your thoughts on the game. What did you like? What did you love? Were there things you hated? What's next for Texas Tech? We look around the Big 12 and college football in general. Really, South Carolina. Really? Couldn't do us a solid? That's all you had to do was close it out. All right, so we want your thoughts tonight on the United Supermarkets chat line. We're coming to you live from the Hat Creek Interior Studios, the best in Western-style furniture. Hey, maybe you own a ranch, so it needs to look like a ranch. Maybe you don't own a ranch, but you love Western-style furniture. You want it to look like a ranch. I know. Go to Hat Creek Interiors. If you're not in Lubbock and you can't get to their showroom, which is amazing, go online, hatcreek.us. And of course, Raiderland Rewind presented all year long by the great people at Live Life Well Clinic in Lubbock. They're ready to help you live your best life right now. We're not going to wait till 2026. We're going to get it going now. You're going to go over there, or you're going to call, or you're going to get on a telemedicine deal with Dr. John Skelton and his great staff. Great Red Raider, by the way, former Red Raider football player. And you are going to live life well. They've got a great website, great Facebook page. Go there tonight. Check it out and tell them thanks, by the way, for supporting what we do and sponsoring Raiderland Rewind all year long. All right, so let's get to it. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, and all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, where you start your day every day. We got cool Raiderland hot links in the morning, brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas. Generationally strong West Texas legends. They handle all your meat processing, and they ship to you. So if you need some great meats at your holiday parties and anything else coming up, you need Jackson Brothers in Post, Texas. Aforementioned Hat Creek Interior Studios, and of course the United Supermarket chat line, where, hey, if you're not ready for all the NFL games tomorrow, I'm thinking about making queso, even though it's not even like fall-like weather here. I'm going to have to go back, and darn it, I got to go back to Market Street tomorrow. Darn. Oh, that's too bad. All right, so Tech wins at 48-9. Give us your thoughts. What impressed you the most? I'll give you mine. We've got so many things to look at in this one. Jacob Rodriguez with his Heisman Trophy moment. No hangover whatsoever after the BYU game. Great fast start. I would have taken Baron Morton out even earlier, but was glad to see Mitch Griffiths in at quarterback in the first half. Reggie Virgil, 3 TDs, 2 on the ground. Why not? 2 if by land, 1 if by air. Morton solid on one leg. Defense, I don't know what more to say about the defense. And I will say this right off the bat: Joey McGuire gets it. He understands how the game is played right now. And I'm talking about not just X's and O's. I'm talking about the whole Jacob Rodriguez, get him in at quarterback, get him a touchdown, and then be able to go on TV and say, hey, yeah, everybody's talking about quarterbacks for Heisman. There we go. We put him in at quarterback. He scored a touchdown. What do you want? It's a gimmick award. We get it. No offense, David Collier, Don Williams, 2 voters on the Heisman Trophy here in Lubbock, Texas. I don't want to vote because, I don't think I'd be very good at it. I'd vote for like offensive linemen and stuff, and nobody wants that. But Joey McGuire gets it. He gets the big picture too. He understands 48-9. Why you got to do that? All right. So you tell me tonight. You jump on that chat line tonight. You tell me what impressed you the most. All right. Let's get it going on the comments here on the United Supermarkets chat line. Old Texas Tech man on YouTube. By the way, YouTube, hit like, hit share, invite people in. At Twitter or on Twitter, at Ryan Hyatt Media, same thing. Share it, invite people in. And our Facebook people, I know you guys are going to be great tonight. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, they're all free. Thank you, OU, for beating Alabama. Texas Tech moving up. We'll get to that. And yeah, that absolutely helps Texas Tech. But it almost doesn't matter. And I'll tell you why, and we explain this on the show, maybe Friday night or maybe Thursday night. Let's see. I was at the game. Shout out to section 115 officially in the shirtless section. You were in the shirtless section. Were you up there? Were you raising as my old friend at KKAM 1340 All Sports Radio, JP Horn, host of the cafe, raising unshirted cane? Were you raising unshirted cane up there? You know, it got started at the Oklahoma State game maybe a month or so ago. It spread around college football. We love the unshirted cane. Truly we do. And truly be glad I wasn't out there in that section. All right, Stephen gets in on Twitter X. I think he's the first one on Twitter X tonight, at Ryan Hyatt Media. I know he shared it, invited people in. Feel better about the West Virginia game. Our only shot at getting to Arlington with a loss is if Arizona State loses one. I haven't even contemplated Tech getting to the Big 12 title game with a loss because the things that would have to line up probably wasn't going to work and whatever. You didn't want to do that. And where are we? Where are we today? West Virginia loses 25-23 to Arizona State. So the Mountaineers, now you just hope that they want their season over with in 2 weeks when you play them. The only thing I've been concerned about with West Virginia has been a weather game. That if the weather were really bad up there in some form or fashion, that it would negate your athletic supremacy over West Virginia. And hopefully that won't be the case. Joe just got home for the game, and it was really fun. Well, I'm glad you had fun. I hope you did. You should have fun. All right, so give me your thoughts, what you liked, what impressed you the most. The fast start, you set the tone. I thought that was as impressive as anything maybe I've seen this year, and I'm being serious here, out of Texas Tech, that on a day where I think the crowd was not going to be what it was against BYU for obvious reasons. That there was an obvious chance for a little bit of a letdown. There was none. I thought Texas Tech came out set on go like we hadn't seen since a non-conference game. In that first drive, you just blitzkrieg down the field and it felt good. And then you go 3 and out and you go back again and it felt good. And you're rocking and rolling 14 points really quick. And I thought that took the starch out of UCF right off the bat. I thought the first 2 possessions for both teams told me all I needed to know about the rest of the day, and it played out that way. That's culture. We talk about culture. That's discipline. That's mental toughness. And they were playing like an offense that really wanted to get Baron Morton out of the game for all the right reasons. Let that leg heal up. Get Mitch in. All he did was go 13-17, by the way, 145 passing. The last drive before the half, if they don't discombobulate when they get down there in the red zone, yeah, we've seen that before. Freaking stupid penalties. I mean, it was already over. It was over at 14-0. But the start impressed me as much as anything because that's up here. That was preparation during the week, and you got it done. Back to the United Supermarkets chat line here on Raiderland Rewind, presented by Live Life Well Clinic of Lubbock. Ready to make you live life well. They can do it too, by the way. College Football Playoff Committee says Tech's red zone offense needs to be better. Challenge completed. What was it? 5 of 6 in the red zone, 5 touchdowns, 35 points in the red zone today, and you were getting touchdowns. That'll work. That will work 100%. And we got some advanced stats on this thing tonight that I really love. We'll give you a stat. I don't want to get too deep into the stats tonight, but there's one that I just looked at when the game was over and went, wow. I thought it was good and hadn't been kind of keeping up with it in real time. And then when the game was over, I'm like, holy crap, that was really good. Chris, Barron did tons better getting rid of the ball and not taking hits. He took a couple of hits today, not many, but it wasn't even so much getting rid of the ball and not taking hits. It was just, getting the ball out quick. I thought the offensive line was much better today. I don't think there was a sack. Was there? I don't think there was a sack today. I thought the offensive line was better today. I thought they played quicker getting the ball out, and that goes to Barron Morton. They were 4 of 4 deep, 15 yards or more, 4 of 4 deep on that. So that was cool. The 40-yarder to Virgil, obviously setting some stuff up early on. But yeah, I agree that I think whatever they did, and I'm thinking maybe there's like an electrode implanted somewhere on Barron Morton's upper body that after about 2 seconds, he gets an electric charge and he's got to throw the ball or he wets his pants. And that's what I do. But no, you are correct. I thought he did a much better job today. And a lot of that also had to go to the offensive line. I want to give him credit for that. But it was a big deal that he did get rid of the ball. And what was the final numbers on that? Just on Morton passing, 14 to 20, 149 rating, 149. That's interesting. The rating and the yardage were the same thing. That's hard to do mathematically. So Texas Tech, 27-37 passing, 294. No picks, biggest number of the day. And then what was the final number? Oh, maybe slightly. You had slightly more guys catching the ball today than running the ball. Here's who carried the ball today. Obviously, Dickey, 11 carries, 7-yard average, 77, 2 TDs. Long, 26. Williams, 745. He appears to be okay. He limped off there at the half and seemed to be okay. Virgil, 2 carries, 2 touchdowns. Why not? 17.5-yard average. Then Terrence Carter Jr., he had Miles the third. Griffiths had 2 official carries. Rodriguez, 1 for the touchdown. Not bad. 8 rushers on the day compared to 11 receivers. I'll task Matt Dowdy with this tonight. He's the Tech Media Relations Director, and they may already have it in the notes. I don't have the final notes yet. I think they're about to send them out. I wonder where this would rank over the last 10, 15 years of total number of rushers and total number of pass catchers combined. That's by my rudimentary math skills. 19 different people, well, maybe not different because they kind of cover, but 19 combined rushers and receivers. That's pretty good, I would say. All right, you guys get in your comments, your questions, everything else. So going back, we're talking, commenter here was talking about the College Football Playoff Committee. Here's the OU win, great. Knock them off. We wanted South Carolina to take down Texas A&M for obvious reasons, that you want everybody in front of you to lose, whatever. It really, truly doesn't matter right now for Texas Tech. It's a 2-game drive to get the number 3 spot in the college football playoff. And here's why. SEC and the Big Ten are going to take each other out of the number of teams they can have in the top 4. They just are. By virtue of who's going to play in those title games, it's going to happen. The number 3 spot, in my opinion, is reserved for Texas Tech as the Big 12 champion if they can get there. If Tech doesn't get there, if it's somebody else, if Tech loses in the Big 12 title game, or heaven forbid you don't, get there, you lose to West Virginia in 2 weeks, that scuttles everything. But that if Texas Tech gets to the title game and wins it, and they're a 12-1 team, they will be the number 3 seed. They control their own destiny. Then they reserve, so 1 and 2 obviously go Big Ten SEC title game winner. That 4 spot goes to the highest ranked team that loses out of those games. So you're either going to be 3, in my opinion, or somewhere around 10. That if you drop the Big 12 title game, you still get in. Because, again, I think the most logical thing is you get there with 11 wins in the regular season, and you're losing to fill in the blank team, whoever it may be at that point. We really don't care now. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter whether it's a BYU or a Utah. To me, it just doesn't even really matter who you might play and lose to. They're going to be the same team on the stat sheet. So if you're a Texas Tech fan, it's pretty much 3 or 10, or you don't get in somehow. And I think the somehow is you don't beat West Virginia, you don't go to the Big 12 title game, you don't get in. Nothing's really changed over the last. Nothing has changed really, fascinatingly, from the day you walked off the field in Tempe. You knew you had to win out, and you knew if you won out, that for the most part it would take care of itself getting to the title game, that you would have tie breaks over the right teams as long as, one or two things happened. That Arizona State already had that law, so you felt pretty good about that. So you sit here on the 15th of November at 6:45 in the evening going, completely control your destiny. All right, let's talk about what Joey McGuire understands and gets. Joey McGuire, and I'm really interested. I have not seen it on social media. I have not seen any national shows or anything. Maybe you guys have. And by the way, keep me up to date on scores. I'm trying to keep up on scores and everything and where we are with games going on right now. Baylor and Utah up 7-0. Seconds left in the first quarter, and then TCU and BYU later on. So, yeah, if I'm missing anything, just let me know. But I haven't seen any blowback yet on anybody mad that Joey McGuire, a cheap stunt. He cheapened the game. Hell, he did it early in the game. It wasn't a blowout. It was early in the game. When he gives Jacob Rodriguez the chance to get an offensive touchdown. Now, how many of the people out there will know that he is a former quarterback? I don't know. Some will know that. Some won't matter. But I wonder if there's going to be some blowback and people mad that somebody like Joey McGuire is attempting to cheapen the Heisman Trophy by having. So tell me what's different about that in Travis Hunter, right? Tell me what's different about that and, I don't know, maybe a defensive back guy at Michigan, or you get the idea. We're going back a few years ago. Yeah, J-Rod, former quarterback. That's what I'm talking about there. But I wonder if there's going to be any blowback on it, because I thought Joey McGuire had the perfect answer, apparently. And I think this was on the Fox broadcast at the end, where he said, okay, so everybody's talking about the Heisman Trophy goes to quarterbacks. We made him a quarterback. I love it. Hell. Sit there, watch that going, could have given him the whole quarter at fourth quarter at quarterback. No, I'm just kidding. You don't want him to get hurt, but yeah. Meanwhile, hold on, where did that come from on the banner? I got to change that. That's not right. Raider, where the hell did that come from? That's stupid. Hold on. There we go. That's who I am. Martley Cool, old guy. Oh, well. Sorry. Sawyer, according to comments, just threw a pick six, 14-0 Utah. Damn it. Come on. Corn on a Mustang. Got to do better than that. Not that it really matters, but anyways. See, I'm going to be curious to see how the national media is going to play the Rodriguez score. Will that serve to highlight everything he's done defensively, which is tremendous, incredible, and yeah, I think he is the most impactful. There have been, when we talk about impactful, there have been really good defensive players, but I'm talking impactful defensive players. And people will go, well, what's the difference between being really good and impactful? I mean, outcome of games, MVP type status to the team. It mattered. It mattered with a good team. It mattered with a bad team, whatever. All right. So Gabe Revere is like way up here. Okay. Best I've ever seen. I'll stake my football credentials that Gabe Rivera is the best defensive player in college I have ever seen. He doesn't have the drunk driving car accident at Pittsburgh. Who knows what it looks like. After that, impactful defensive players since then. And we can go 50 years because we can go Thomas Howard was great, but not the impact that Rivera had. Brad Hastings was really good. You had several good defenders on the 89 team, but nobody of that level. Zach Thomas, impactful. And then since 2000, nobody has been impactful. There have been good players on defense, even some players that have had great careers, but the impactful nature of it, not like we're seeing with this. So hopefully by getting him the touchdown, maybe some national people will begin to go, hey, look at what this guy's doing. The Heisman's supposed to be for the best quarterback on the best team. Well, here's a team with one loss that's going to be in the college football playoff. What if the best player on that team happens to be a linebacker? We'll see. All right, jump in, get your comments in, your thoughts, your questions about the game. We've given you kind of our basic rundown. I haven't given you my stat of the night yet. I don't think so. And then anything that you loved, you liked, you hated, whatever. National Football Day thoughts. I get it. I by the way, I think even the fan base needs the weekend off, needs the off week. After this stretch of games, quite frankly, going back to the drama of the KU game on October 11th, the Arizona State loss, and then slogging your way through Oklahoma State, K-State, BYU. I think even the fan base is ready to take a deep breath. I get it. I told my wife, I said, tonight's show is going to be great. It's going to be awesome. But I know that the passion level is going to be down a little bit. I get it. Understand. Thankfully, it wasn't that way for the players, though. Randy Wade, if the Sips have another loss, will they complain enough to weasel their way into the playoff? They'll try. Remember, the committee seems to value like good losses better than wins. But no, I don't think they can get there if they have another loss. JC Double T, they're on the United Supermarkets chat line here on Raiderland Rewind, presented by Live Life Well Clinic of Lubbock, headed up by Dr. John Skelton, former Texas Tech football player. That's right. Ask him about it when you call in. We're in the Hat Creek Interior Studios. You want great Western style furniture, you want Hat Creek, you go to hatcreek.us. You go to their Facebook page. We talk about the power of five. If 5 of you people every night on our broadcast, and I'm talking to you right now that are enjoying Raiderland Rewind, if you go to Live Life Well Clinic's Facebook page, Hat Creek Interiors, United Supermarket, if you go there and tell them thanks for supporting Raiderland, it's huge, means a lot. Let us know you did it so we can say thank you or tag us on it or whatever. But just do that. And that's how we're able to continue bringing you great programming. And really, you should do it for all the programming you love, not just my show, any show you enjoy, any media you enjoy. It takes seconds. It's so easy to do. Get in the habit of doing it. Joey, trolling Heisman committee was great. When do they vote on that crap? Over it already. Mid-December, I think is when they vote. Not an individual award guy ever, even when our own guy. Yeah, but if your own guy can win a Heisman Trophy and an individual award, it's great PR for your program. It's marketing. It's awesome. You absolutely want it if it's your guy. James, I predicted 56-10, nearly had it. I was all over the board. Last night I gave you 42-17, and then this morning I'm sitting there going, I don't know how they score 17. That in my brain, 17 points is still a really nice day by defense against a legitimate Big 12 team, of which UCF is, even with the injuries at quarterback and otherwise, that you just go, man. So like 17 points, that's a touchdown and a half, and then one short field, a short punt, a nice punt return, you're in business, you get a field goal. That's really nothing. Then this morning, I'm like, I don't know how they're going to get there. So then I was like, okay, 38-10. And I think I posted that on Twitter, that if I could give you another score, I can't. I stand by the 42-17. Knock yourself out. But if I were going to do another score, I'd be doing like 38-10, thinking, all right, this defense absolutely is going to shut them down. And then you get Morton out of the game, you get up and you throttle down the offense a little bit. And you run the football and you're running clock, kind of like we saw in the fourth quarter, a little bit in the third. But did I count on Mitch Griffiths coming in and just balling out and going, yeah, give me the ball, man. I'm going to go 13-17, 145. I'm going to pass for nearly as many yards as Baron Morton did. Why not? Didn't count on that completely. This team's fascinating to game. They just roll through. They are a cover the point spread juggernaut right now in Vegas and other places. Yeah. A&M didn't come back. South Carolina choked on their Fighting Roosters. Yeah. 91 on the ATS. I don't know. Hey, Stephen, can you look up real quick what they are to the total? By that, I mean, how many Tech games have gone over and how many have played under? It might be the same number on the total. Yeah, 90. I don't know that there's another 10-win team out there that's 91 ATS. If there is, I don't know about it. And for those who don't know, when we say ATS, we're talking about against the spread. So Tech favored by 23.5 points. They covered that number today. They win against the spread. I mean, good teams win, great teams cover. And right now, Texas Tech is a cover juggernaut out there. Get your questions, comments in. We'll go as long as you guys got good thoughts, good questions, good comments, anything else. Keeping up with some of the scores around there as best we can. Utah at 14-0, 12-22 in that one. I thought I had top 25 up and going. I guess I don't. Do I not have that? Come on now. See if we can pull that up real quick. All right, yeah. So Florida and Ole Miss. Florida sitting there at 3-6. Ole Miss, number 7. Are we Gator fans right now? 14:56 to go in the second. 14-10 Florida. Just bury Ole Miss just a little bit more. Texas, Georgia underway 3.5 minutes in. It's scoreless. Texas with the ball. First quarter, 6:29. Ohio State in front of UCLA, 7-0. Not that one really matters that much. And I think, is that all we got going on top 25? I think that's it. What we got going on top 25. Red Dawn checking in. Sawyer, touchdown pass. Mustang effort. 14-7 Utah. Does Tech move to 5 with the A&M struggle? No, they're not gonna. They're not gonna move the Aggies. South Carolina players versus Texas State Troopers. Who wins? The Trooper got sent home. If you guys saw the video, I guess this was at halftime, and South Carolina players returning to the field. Something happens in the tunnel. This Trooper wheels around, and I'm not sure exactly what totally transpired, but it was announced even during the game that A&M police, I think, announced first. By the way, the Texas A&M Police Department is great to follow on game day because they talk about all the people they bust for drinking and whatnot. It's funny. Good tweet. Then they said the Trooper had been sent home. Then DPS said, I believe it was DPS, said in a tweet that investigated going on. So I don't know what went on that. Bad look. We expect more out of the Texas Department of Public Safety troopers because those guys are pretty much the best of the best. Don't know what happened there. But man, he got sent home. Dude got sent home. JC, yeah. Tech only team 9-1 ATS next is Ohio State 7-1 and push, and a few at 8-2. Yeah. Thank you, Vegas. I'm trying to make you money. We're trying to make you people money out there. Roll with the Red Raiders. I don't know what number they're going to hang there at West Virginia in 2 weeks. That could be another 24. It could be another 24-point number, even on the road. Again, weather. And I hadn't seen anybody got an extended outlook forecast for that game. They're on the 29th. Anybody got like a 2-week? What are we doing out there? Just give me good, fair weather for battle. That's all I ask. If it's a clean track, it's Tech by 23, 24. And you really kind of want to play it the same way, I think, when you get to West Virginia. Get Baron Morton a lead, get him out of there, and then get him ready for Arlington if you can do it. All right, so fast start. We talked about that. Joey McGuire gets it. He understands it. He understands how the game is played. He's poured it on all year. He understands style points. He understands trying to get Jacob Rodriguez the Heisman. I thought Baron Morton did everything you wanted him to do. Offensive line was better. The run game, yep. So let's go to the advanced stats, and let's talk about that. The stat that I thought was just absolutely the one that helped you obliterate 100% obliterate UCF today was first down. Texas Tech today had 300 yards of offense on first down. 8.6 yards the average on first down. Let me say that again. On first down efficiency, you ran 35 first down plays. You had 300 yards total offense. Your average first down gain was 8.6 yards. You ran it 18 times for 138 yards, 7.7 yards per carry on first down. 7 point. That's Jim Brown, Garrel Sayers tearing it up. 14 of 17 passing first down, 162 yards. You were not sacked on first down. You didn't lose yards on first down. You had 2 first down penalties. That hurt you. And on first down, you made 10 first downs. You also had 4 touchdowns on first down. I don't have the whole season numbers or anything, but I got to think that's probably one of the best first down stat days that Texas Tech football has had in a while. And again, it's a conference opponent. And they're not bereft of talent. They're not horrible. Their defense is actually quite good. Their offense has been, horrible, but their defense is actually quite good. You got probably 3-4 guys that are going to play in the league on the defense. And you had 300 yards on first down. I don't think I've said his name out loud tonight. I'm going to do it. Mac Leftwich, good job. I've been rough on Leftwich for a team that's got 1 loss on the year, and it's having one of the greatest years in school history. I've been pretty rough on Leftwich at times. I don't get some of the offensive play calling. I'd like to go downfield a little bit more at times. The offensive line needs to be better. Run game needs to be, I think, a higher focus in play action passing. However, today, for those people who know and love Mac Leftwich, let it be known, yeah, absolutely, fruit basket coming your way. Good day. And a really good day on first down. That's pretty cool. Randy, I watched West Virginia today. No contest next week. Well, yeah, there's no contest next week. They don't play next week. Good Lord. Randy Hudman there, former college football player with the expert analysis. No contest. No contest next week because they don't play next week. That's a smart former football player right there. JC, luckily, Arizona State might have broke whatever fight West Virginia has left. Tech game script today was beyond impressive. Gave future teams tons of new things on film to waste time on. Love that. That's good. Yeah, I mean, the game was over 3 possessions in, and that's good. No, Randy, I'm saying you nailed it with the analysis. It's no contest. No contest next week. Easy for me to say. See, you don't even know when you're being smart. That's how smart you are. He's good people, by the way. I may tell some Randy Hudman stories someday here on the show or something. Red Dawn Double T, Utah, 67-yard TD run, or TD, 20-7, Utah out in front. Extra point is good, 21-7 now. 10:47 down there at the Giant Toilet Bowl at McLean Stadium. Hi there, Mac Rhodes. Wonder where he's watching the game from. You know, where do you think Mac Rhodes is taking in the game? There was a hotel down there by Waco back in the day by the suspension bridge, and they had a place down there called Damon's. It was a rib place, and it was kind of a quasi sports bar. They did all the coaches shows down there. They had NTN trivia. Obviously, I'm going back into the 90s and early. I picture him down at Damon's at the Hilton, I think it was the Hilton down there, and just sitting in a booth by himself playing NTN trivia, watching the game. You know, Mac Rhodes. Well, at least nobody's dead yet, right? If we're looking at any potential Baylor scandal, isn't it really the baseline is somebody dead? Yes or no? Okay, nobody dead. Then we drop down to okay, has there been sexual assault alleged? Yes or no? And then we get into whatever may or may not be going on. So that's kind of the Baylor line of demarcation when you talk about scandals. Dead people, alleged sexual assaults, cover-ups, and then whatever else may have happened. Get on with yourself, Baylor. I thought it was brilliant by the Big 12. So Mac Rhodes, the AD, is taking a leave of absence from Baylor, if you don't know, as they investigate all sorts of things. The Big 12, he was the chairman of the College Football Playoff Committee, and the Big 12 Thursday or whenever this broke was pushing, hey, we can get the Utah AD on if y'all don't mind, and they were like, yeah, no, it's worth a shot. Let's see. I'm about to help me out with the name there on YouTube because it looks good. The Red Raiders are so ready to play today. It was 14-0 before the TV commercials were over. Yeah, and they had to delay there because Michigan and Northwestern, I guess. You guys help me out here. How did they handle that on TV today? That Michigan Northwestern was running long on Big Fox, so I think they put the game on Fox Business to start, and then they moved it back or something. So I think there were some people who didn't see the first touchdown at all in the game. Baylor checklist. Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. Anybody dead, Does Bama losing today help Tech? Chris, good call, or good question, good call. How old am I as a sports radio talk show host? Good call, Chris. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. It doesn't hurt at all. But the whole thing, nothing changed again. And I'm going to go through this real quick. If Texas Tech wins out, beats West Virginia, wins the Big 12 title game, they'll be 3 in the college football rankings. They'll be in the top 4. They'll be 3. The SEC and the Big 10 are going to off each other, and they're going to get the top 2 spots with their championship teams. And then the highest ranked team that loses in the SEC Big 10 title game will get 4, and then everybody else drops down. If Texas Tech doesn't win out, they go to 10. So it really doesn't matter that much other than it's fun to see Alabama lose, right? The Red Raider for life. Fox announcers drove me nuts. Nothing worse than listening to people who think they are funny but aren't. Well, the problem with that is Tim Brando is your play-by-play announcer. He's a clown. He's Bush League. I guess I'm still blocked by him, and I carry it as a badge of honor. He's not good. Wood, but you're feeling good about Griffith's play today. We might need him later. You never know. And I truly hope he doesn't become some sort of national sensation. Stay with me here. For being the third string quarterback who led a team to a national title championship win or whatever. You know, I want that to be Baron Morton because I want him to be healthy. I want Griffiths to be the guy who plays the last quarter in the last game in mop-up duty, and they're telling the stories about what an amazing story this guy. After a career in college football, he was found working for a concrete company with his feet stuck in concrete, and he had to chisel his own feet out of the drying concrete when the other subcontractors left and a freak storm came up, and it immediately began to coalesce around his feet. But he didn't quit. He didn't quit. He had a pocket knife, and he chiseled his own feet out of the concrete that he had poured. And he went to Twitter. He said, I'd really like to play college football again. Is anybody out there? And Mac Litwitz said, if you don't have feet of clay, but merely feet of concrete, we'll give you a chance. Yeah, I really don't want that to be a national narrative. Okay, there you go. Timbo in South Austin. YouTube has been jacking up my name. All right, so it's like they're on YouTube. I'm like, I'm Bo. Yeah. TD Georgia 7-3 dogs. What was it Georgia -6? I think this thing went off. Do you think Indiana and Ohio State will stay 1-2 even after the Big Ten? No, absolutely not. One wins, one loses after the Big Ten title game. One gets the 1 seed. One goes to 4, would be my guess, with Alabama losing, if I'm going to have to analyze this right now tonight. And it really won't matter for another couple of weeks, obviously. But if I had to analyze it tonight and everything goes according to Hoyle, it's going to be winner of the Big Ten title game. And then they go 1-4, SEC champ 2, Texas Tech if they win out 3. The committee's going to reward the Big 12 title winner at 12-1, whether it's Tech or whoever. They're going to reward that. You're going to get the protected seat. That's a basketball term, but you're going to get the bye. You're going to get a top 4 seed. All right. They're not going to take a 12-1 team that lost 1 game with a backup quarterback on the road to a healthy Arizona State team. They're not going to leave them out of that. They are going to reward because they still have to have the appearance of, well, yeah, these other conferences actually matter. We can't just have 4 teams out of the Big Ten and the SEC, you know. So you're going to get that spot. It's reserved for you if you can get there. Nobody else in the Big 12 can get there. You can. And sadly, I think really the only way the Big 12 maybe gets 2 teams in right now, again, depending, because now you're sloshing down Alabama, you're sloshing down some teams. It may be very difficult to get 2 teams in out of the Big 12 into the college football playoff unless Tech loses in the title game, and we don't want to see that, okay? So if you had to ask me right now, what do I want? I want Tech to win out, and if the Big 12 only gets 1 team, sorry for you. Ready for life. I don't think I have the stamina to stay up late for TCU BYU. Yes, you do. You can do it. Get you some chili dogs, some chili cheese dogs. You can do that. You know why you get the chili cheese dogs? Because chili dogs only bark at night. That'll keep you up. You throw some of that down in your belly, get you a little whatever beverage going on. Oh, yeah, you'll be good about 11 o'clock. Even if you try to nod off, you'll wake up about midway through the 3rd quarter and go, ooh, yeah, we're still going. Chili dog's going to bark at night. Great Southern writer came up with that line. If anybody knows the reference to chili dogs only bark at night, and the great Southern writer, a one-time sports writer who moved away from sports, I'll be very impressed with you tonight. All right, a few more minutes here before we get out of here. You guys have been really good, and I enjoy the conversation. This week we're going to have a lot of we're going to feature a lot of different people on the daily broadcast since it's an open date. We're going to kind of stray far and wide and do some different stuff. I hope you're going to enjoy it. So, a lot of reasons to tune into. Are we in Raiderland BYU fans tonight? I'm not. I mean, not necessarily. I don't care. I don't care because it doesn't matter to me, right? Because if you're a Tech fan, you control your own destiny. So unleash chaos. Like, who do you want to play in the Big 12 title game? I guess maybe that's what it boils down to. Who do you want to see? Me, I'd like to see my high school teammate Sonny Dykes get a big win tonight. Can J Rod kick a point after in West Virginia? Why not just a field goal? I was only halfway joking. Line him up at cornerback, put him at receiver, make fun of the Heisman Trophy voting over the last 50 years. Hugh Green, second in what was it, 1980? Pitt defensive lineman, the last legitimate defensive guy to have a chance. Really? The best football player, the best college football player can't be a defensive player. And I'll give credit to Don Williams and also to David Collier, who have votes. They have consistently voted for good defensive players and ranked them high on their list. Not artificially. Not artificially. They have done it on their ballots. And I know Don Williams has been adamant about that even before he had a vote when we were doing the Williams and Hyatt show that started in 1994. Every year, starting in 1994 to 2012, we did the Williams and Hyatt show Heisman voting. And then he got a vote, and he kind of had to be kind of cool about how, he could not say whatever. Anyhow, both those guys have been really good about having an honest ballot regardless of position. So I'm torn because I think the Heisman Trophy has turned into a joke. I think they got far too many voters, by the way. I think that's part of the problem. Not talking about Don and David. Not talking about that specifically at all. We got all week to talk about this. We can talk about the Heisman deal all week. Bottom line, Jacob Rodriguez can't win the Heisman. And that's sad to say, but it's true. He can't. He won't have a chance to do it. James saw on Twitter Matt Leinart from Fox say send him to New York City. I don't know why he should be punished. Oh, you mean like for the show? Yeah. Well, that's how they do it. Say send him to New York City, make him a finalist. Why not say, hey, the best football player, the best college football player in the country is a defensive player? Why not say that? Why can't we say that? Show me that. Don't just send him there. It's not like some sort of homecoming court where he has to be on there. If I ain't winning, I wouldn't go. Yeah, I'd probably go. No, I probably wouldn't. I've been to New York enough. I don't think I'd go. All right, last chance. Get your questions, comments in on the game. Otherwise, Tech football, any other score updates, but fire away real quick on the United Supermarket chat line here in the Hat Creek Interior Studios. Again, we tell you the power of five people every night on our broadcast. Go to our sponsors on their social media feeds. Facebook, great place to go. For United Supermarkets, hey, there's one supermarket that puts their name on stuff at Tech. There's another one in town that takes your money and puts stuff, their name on, and your money on stuff in Austin. Just saying. But Hat Creek Interiors, and of course, Live Life Well Clinic, headed up by Dr. John Skelton, presenters of Raiderland Rewind. Next year. Talking about Skylar, yeah. I'm I don't think you'll see him play again this year at all. I don't think that's even on the table that I've seen. Scores 21-7 Utah, 8:17 in the first half. It's 2 hours away from the Frogs and BYU. And meanwhile, Texas, Georgia 7-3, 2:36 left in the first. Dogs in front of Texas. Ohio State, they're playing with their food a little bit. 10-0, 11:43. They're not going to lose. It's not going to matter. And then this Florida Ole Miss game. 21-17 Florida. Man. Ain't got nothing against old Lane Kiffin, but hey, chaos. Put it out there. Speak it into existence. All right, a couple more comments on the United Supermarket chat line. I'd like to see a rematch against Arizona State in the Big 12 championship game. Arizona State wins out, TCU wins out, Arizona State's in. That's how that happens. If I understand the math right, and I think I do. James, does McGuire catch a high school playoff game this week with the open weekend? I would not be surprised if they are not all out recruiting all week. So they're going to still not work out, but, take a few days off and everything. And they won't be hitting or doing anything, getting ready for West Virginia until, later on next week. So it's kind of a good time. You got the high school playoffs in Texas going on. You would think that most of your high-level recruits at the high school level are there, but you want to be visible. Even if you're not really recruiting the high school kids, you want to be visible. So I would not be shocked if they're out there. I would think that would be a pretty smart thing to do, Red Don, how about the Red Raiders against UTSA? First round of the women's tournament in soccer, 2-1 win last night. I can't say her name. Zadrowski. I never get it right. I apologize. But, she's been a stalwart for them all year long. They got the 2-1 win. You protected Fort Walker, and you're just mind-numbingly good there with Tom Stone. He's like the Wes Kitley of soccer. You become mind-numbed at how good they are in a program that, depending on how old you are, I remember when they started the program and they were like, all right, let's get the best coach we can find. And they hired Diane Nichols, who had coached Lubbock High to like 10 straight years of Lubbock City Championship, soccer. And they didn't put much into it. They started it. Didn't do much. Felix Oscom after that, maybe? I can't remember. There might be somebody in between. And they really weren't doing much. And then Tom Stone shows up and he says, hey, we can kick ass here. You just give me a little bit of something. And they did, and they invested in the program, and look what it's done over the last decade plus. Plus, he's a cool dude. Hey, we can I don't know. I hate to bother him on the daily broadcast during this time of year because, you're doing stuff. But yeah, just one more example of another sport that people said Texas Tech could never win at. You can't win at soccer in Lubbock. You can't be great in track and field. Nobody will ever come out there, high-level athletes. You can't do good in tennis. You can't do that. Golf, who's ever going to come play golf at Texas Tech in the wind and everything? You'll never do anything. You'll never have that happen. You get the idea. All right, you guys are the best. We're going to shut her down tonight. We will have our column in the morning, 5 things we know on a Sunday. Hope you'll check it out. All we ask you to do tonight, everybody who's enjoyed this, if you like what we do, hey, share it with a friend, invite them in, put it out there on your social media feeds. And then really, five people, go to our sponsors every night and tell them thanks. And tonight, it's Live Life Well Clinic in Lubbock, headed up by Dr. John Skelton. Great Facebook page, great website. Hat Creek Interiors. If you hadn't seen the cool furniture they have, I don't know what to tell you. And I shouldn't be allowed to look at the desk, the office desk they have there, desks. I should not be allowed to look at that. because I would want like 3. I would have one here and then 2 others that would kind of go around and form this thing of yeah, I like desk. I like love lamp. Are you just saying that because there's a lamp there? Love lamp. United Supermarkets on the chat line. Thank them as well. All right, we'll see you guys in the morning. We're going to post this on the website here really quick, and then we're going to enjoy some more of the football tonight. You guys are the best audience out there. We thank you for doing what you do, and we'll see you in the morning at theraiderland.com.